Like any other mass multiplayer game, Fortnite has a history of items that have bit the dust. They've been removed for a number of reasons, because they were too overpowered, because they didn't integrate well into the game, because of ways that players used them to break the game, or because they created an unfair advantage to those who managed to obtain them. Regardless of the reasons, there's a lot of cool stuff that Fortnite players just won't be able to get their hands on again, unless Epic decides to resurrect them. So today, in memorial, we're counting down the best of those long-lost items with our list of the top 10 Fortnite items that got banned. Starting off our list in at number 10, the crossbow. Vaulted back during the 4.0 patch, the crossbow, despite being pretty cool, was not a weapon that many people relied upon, let alone preferred to use. Instead, it was often a last resort when you didn't have any other weapons available. Initially added in as part of a Valentine's Day update, it was great for having unlimited ammo, and many still believe that it has potential to come back into the game someday, even if it's just for a limited time, especially since there's a very avid fanbase still kicking around online for this weapon, although many others feel that it was one of the worst weapons that has ever been added to the game. Oh, mixed feelings. Up next, number 9, smoke grenades. On March 15, 2018, the smoke grenade was vaulted, which shocked quite a few people at the time, especially since they were quietly removed from the game. This unique and fun item was great for making an escape when in a time of need or desperation. Although to many players, if the smoke grenades didn't fit into their playstyle, they were just pretty useless, just inventory fillers really. Many suspect that that wasn't the end of the smoke grenades though, and one day they will make a return. Moving on to number 8, the wall dynamos. Traps used to be a thing in Fortnite, and it makes sense why they would be removed from the Battle Royale portion of the game. It gives cunning players too much of an advantage, and it kinda sucks if you walk into one unsuspecting, rather than getting eliminated from a match due to a player attacking you, therefore getting knocked out because of someone's skill rather than their sneakiness. The wall dynamo specifically would stick to walls, and electrify all enemies within its range when triggered. Eventually the traps were removed and amalgamated into the damage trap instead, but these days the wall dynamos still exist in the less popular Save the World mode of the game. Up next, number 7, the tactical SMG. The tactical SMG is one of the most recent Fortnite weapons to get sent to the vault, as of the 5.0 update. Capable of firing quickly, it was a good tool to use to compete with the shotgun, despite having low damage per shot. Instead, it's been announced that a new compact SMG will be coming to the game, set to be released during the next major update. While not much has been revealed about it, the description of the weapon reads, "Epic and legendary rarity SMG that excels at close quarters combat." Based on footage that's been revealed of it so far, many players already think that it might be too powerful, since its fire rate is incredibly fast and it seems difficult to counter. Speaking of SMGs, up next at number 6, the standard submachine gun. Back during the version 2.5 patch, the standard submachine gun was vaulted. At one point, the game boasted 3 different SMGs, including our previous number and the suppressed SMG. This one, though, wasn't all that different from the tactical one. It had a larger clip, but not by much, and did ever so slightly less damage than the tactical did. So why did it get vaulted? Not because of any sort of controversy. Rather, it was vaulted to reduce confusion and simplify the game. What's the point of having a gun that doesn't stand out much from another very similar gun? Moving on to number 5, the ceiling trap. Similar to the SMGs, Fortnite used to have a variation of ceiling traps that you could get your hands on. Another reason why traps were vaulted was because of the amount of time it took to cycle through all the different variations in your inventory. As for the traps themselves, players would bait people into walking into their traps by placing one above loot, luring them in. They also didn't affect the player who placed it, or their teammates, so you could walk underneath one and not worry about getting yourself trapped by your own means. There were a few different kinds of ceiling traps that you could get your hands on, including the ceiling zapper. Up next, number 4, the guided missiles. It's easy to see why the guided missiles were taken out of the game. Controversial at best, many criticized them for being too OP'd. The explosive weapon allowed you to take direct control of it after it was fired. Despite being slower than the RPG, having that much control made it a hell of a tough thing to go up against. On the flip side, those who were controlling it were left vulnerable while doing so. But the downside didn't outweigh the missile's benefits, especially when playing in squads, since your pals could protect you while you were firing it. And as many may recall, it was brought back for a limited time during the 50 vs 50 LTM, because of the edited loot sets for extra materials, healables, and ammo. In our number 3 spot, the jetpack. The jetpack was a fun time. This legendary item was only available to be found in treasure chests, and often it would take several matches in a row before you actually managed to find one. You could fire and throw grenades at other players while flying around in one, but you couldn't use scopes or targeting mode. While it always made for an eventful match, it often defeated the purpose of building, since players could just fly around your structures and easily target you if they had one. Coming in our number 2 spot, the shopping carts. Back on May 30th of this year, shopping carts were introduced into the mix, and people immediately adored them. You could drive the shopping carts or push other players around in them. So what did people do? Well, they built elaborate ramps and simulated their own amusement park rides, and it was a grand old time. But the shopping carts ended up being vaulted because players kept using them to abuse a glitch. People discovered discovered that if you built a pyramid over top of a shopping cart, you could get under the map and then just kill people without being seen. What proceeded to happen with the carts was a frustrating back and forth. On June 11th, 2 weeks after its initial release, Epic Games disabled them. Then the shopping carts came back 3 days later, only to last 2 days before being removed again. Then on June 20th, they were back again, but only to be disabled once more 2 hours later. Epic tweeted out through their Fortnite Twitter that due to ongoing issues, they would be disabling shopping carts yet again. They also added that we'll update you when this issue is resolved. And finally, in our number 1 spot, the Zapatron. The Zapatron was a weapon that barely existed in the game. According to the patch notes, the official description for the gun was, I quote, "The Zapatron can be used to fire electric bursts or charged up to release an enormous amount of damage. Fire sparingly, as cell ammo is extremely limited." Now, this weapon was only available in supply drops. Essentially, it was absurdly powerful, capable of melting enemies from long range, and it only appeared in the game for about a day or so before it was removed. Epic announced in a tweet, "We have disabled the Zapatron. We feel like it doesn't fit well in the current state of Battle Royale. This is something we may revisit." Now, ever since, rumors of its return have always been in abundance, with some speculating that perhaps some of its mechanics may be adapted into other electrified weapons. Want to see the Zapatron in action? Well, there's only one piece of recorded footage of the weapon online, from a French streamer, and the clip is pretty short. Alright, there we have it, friends. Which of these items do you wish would make a return to the game? And were there any on this list that you wish you got the opportunity to use while they were still kicking around? Give us a shout in the comments below and let us know. If you dug this video, show some love, hit that like button, and subscribe before you go. And be sure to check out the playlist we currently have flashing on your screen for more Fortnite and Battle Royale videos. In the meantime, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all in the next one.